Jessica Alba, a name that sparks curiosity, admiration, and wonder. You might have seen her grace the big screen in The Fantastic Four or Honey, or perhaps you know her as the founder of the billion-dollar eco-friendly company, The Honest Company. But let me tell you, her life wasn't always sunshine and rainbows. In fact, she had to endure some of the most offensive nicknames and torments in the industry just to get a break. But that's not all. There's also a dark and sinister chapter in her life that she's never spoken about that we will uncover in today's video. Let's get into it. Jessica Marie Alba was born in Pomona, California on April 28, 1981, to a mother with Danish, Welsh, German, and French ancestry and a father of Mexican descent. Growing up in a family of four, Jessica and her siblings were raised by their mother Kathy, who worked as an accountant part-time to make ends meet, while their father Mark was away working as a U.S. Air Force officer. Although it wasn't always easy growing up, Jessica took every challenge with grace and made the best of it. She told Glamour UK that she grew up in survival mode, and the mentality of tomorrow's not guaranteed pushed her to do everything she could to stay afloat. At the age of 5, Jessica was already dreaming big as she began writing down her ambitions for a career in acting. Her dreams were only further ignited after she saw a production of The Wizard of Oz, and the idea that she could actually become an actress began to take form in her head. And so the young Jessica Alba set out to do whatever it took to make her dreams come true, even if it meant going through a series of moves across the country with her family in pursuit of her father's military career. By the time she turned 9, they had moved from Biloxi, Mississippi, back to their native California, then to Del Rio, Texas, and finally back to Southern California, where Jessica could finally pursue her ambitions. However, life wasn't always easy for young Jessica, as she was plagued with numerous health issues, including asthma, allergies, and pneumonia, which kept her in and out of the hospital throughout much of her childhood. She opened up to Romper about how she had 5 surgeries by the age of 11 due to her chronic illnesses, which only made her childhood even more difficult. But it wasn't just her health that made her feel like an outsider. Her mixed-race background also made it difficult for her to fit in where she was. She told the Daily Mail, "I guess I never really felt connected to anyone my age, and as a result, she was often the target of bullying." It didn't help that she went through puberty much earlier than her peers, something which made her stand out even more than before. She revealed to Cosmopolitan about how some of her uncles lingered with their hugs when she developed a larger chest than other girls her age. The principals of her school and PTA mums even went as far as to give her vulgar names. In spite of all the hardships she faced in her childhood, Jessica Alba was determined to make it as an actress, and at the tender age of 12, she took her first acting classes. She worked hard to perfect her craft, and just 9 months after beginning her journey, she was signed by an agent. Soon after, she was studying at the Atlantic Theatre Company with founders William H. Macy and David Mamet, which helped her to hone her skills even further. And it wasn't long before Jessica was appearing in commercials, television shows, and even music videos, making her first feature film debut in 1993 in Hollywood Pictures comedy Camp Nowhere. Initially hired for a 2-week role, Jessica was thrown into the deep end when an actress dropped out at the last minute and she had to take over the part. Though she cheerfully admits it wasn't her prodigious talent or charm that earned her the job, it was her hair, which matched that of the original performer. Finally, in 1994, she won a recurring role in Nickelodeon's popular comedy series, The Secret World of Alex Mack. She would go on to star as an insufferable young snob devoted to making life miserable for the title character. But it was in the mid 90s when 15-year-old Jessica was shooting a new series called Flipper, which is based on the beloved dolphin, that her fame finally started to take off, and she gained real notoriety. However, what followed was one of the most shocking kidnappings in Hollywood history. It all started when Jessica began receiving strange phone calls, which she chalked up to be pranks. Little did she know that the pranksters had far more sinister plans, and just hours later, Jessica was kidnapped. Following a considerable search, she was eventually found bound and gagged in the trunk of a car, though her captors were never found. Fortunately, Jessica emerged unscathed and was able to continue working on Flipper, which ran for 2 seasons and would become her breakout role. While she may have been experiencing success professionally, behind the scenes, Jessica had started to question her Catholic upbringing at the age of 16. She fell in love with a boy who was bisexual, and she began to think that perhaps the church wasn't quite as infallible as it claimed to be. I was so in love with him and thought, there's no way this guy is going to hell, because in my church it was. Anybody who's gay is going to hell. And I thought, there's no chance. This guy is amazing, she told the Daily Beast. The fact that her church could be so wrong about sexuality made Jessica doubt its teachings in other areas too. She began to question whether the church had been right to make her feel ashamed of her body and desirability because of its narrow view on women's sexuality, something she had struggled with as a young woman. Older men would hit on me, and my youth pastor said it was because I was wearing provocative clothing when I wasn't. It just made me feel like if I was in any way desirable to the opposite sex, that it was my fault, and it made me ashamed of my body and being a woman, she told Elle via Metro. This experience made her realize that her spiritual beliefs were not defined by a single religion, but were hers alone. Jessica felt empowered by this newfound confidence and went on to pursue her passion for acting. Her breakthrough role came in 1999 when she landed major parts in 2 movies after being featured in Vanity Fair magazine. However, it was her role in the sci-fi series Dark Angel that catapulted her to worldwide fame. Dark Angel would also be the place where Jessica's life took an unexpected turn. It was where she met Michael Weatherly, her co-star, who was a decade older than her. But what started as a professional relationship soon turned into something more. Jessica was just 18 and Michael was 30, but age was just a number for them. They shared an undeniable chemistry both on and off screen, which led to some of the most passionate scenes in Dark Angel. As they say, love knows no bounds, and Michael proved this true by proposing to Jessica on her 20th birthday after just a few months of dating. The young actress was swept off her feet by the charming actor, but little did she know that fame would bring its own set of challenges. The spotlight was harsh and unforgiving, and it soon began to take a toll on their relationship. Jessica, who was still trying to figure out her place in the industry, felt suffocated and trapped. She longed for the freedom to explore her career without any strings attached. And so, after 2 years of being engaged, the couple decided to go their separate ways. It just didn't work out. Actors are pulled in so many different directions that unless you're both absolutely into it through thick and thin and completely sure about each other, it's just hard. I've decided I'll never date an actor again, she revealed in an interview with Cosmopolitan magazine. But little did Jessica know that the film she did with Michael would be a turning point in her career. After Dark Angel, she went on to star in blockbuster hits like Fantastic Four and Sin City. Her career was on an upward trajectory, but she was soon to have a new role in her life, that of wife and mother. After a series of relationships, Jessica met Cash Warren in 2004 on the set of Fantastic Four, where he was working as a director's assistant. The two quickly became friends, but it was only in 2007 that the friendship blossomed into a romance, and Alba got pregnant with their first child. Before welcoming their daughter, Anna Marie Warren, on June 7, 2008, they had a quickie wedding ceremony at the courthouse, mainly so she and her child would share a last name. When she had her first baby, Jessica encountered a dangerous experience using a conventional laundry detergent brand. She had an allergic reaction that led to welting and swelling, reminding her of the previous physical health struggles as a child. She thought long and hard about using these products on her newborn baby. Did she want to expose her daughter to the same risks and health issues she had experienced in her youth? Jessica decided to create a safe and healthy alternative for families like her own. Alba teamed up with Brian Lee, a startup expert, and they co-founded The Honest Company, which produces clean and green family products such as diapers, baby wipes, cleaners, and more. The company was an immediate success, and within 2 years, it had become a multi-million-dollar enterprise. Jessica has since become the face of the company, embodying its core values of sustainability and safety for families. Jessica's experience with The Honest Company led her to create other businesses, such as a successful lifestyle website and even an eco-friendly makeup line. Jessica has become an example of how hard work and determination can pay off, as she has gone from being a struggling child star to building a multi-million-dollar empire. The success that Jessica has achieved with her various business ventures is truly inspiring, and she's been able to use them to build a better future for herself and her family. If you enjoyed this video, there's a good chance you'll enjoy the one showing on your screen right now. Click enjoy and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you on the next one.